Good morning, everybody. Garrett Rosendahl, 5'2" Fence and Dirt. Today we are heading down to Peeples Valley. It's a community about an hour and 20 minutes from my yard here. We are mobilizing with the material that I loaded in the last video. The 8-inch square tubing, as well as some rectangular tubing, some cement, barbed wire, and T-posts. And what we are doing is we are actually going to be constructing, as you can see, this is the ranch entry to my place. And we are making a exact duplicate minus the double gates and the gabions. So no rock baskets, and instead of a double gate, it's going to be a solitary single gate, and we're going to be automating it for him as well. So bring you along for the ride. It should be a couple day install. It's going to be a fun one, and it's going to be a fair bit of driving. So I'm going to get to it, and we'll see you soon. We are taking a brief pit stop here to transition some material over to one of my shop guys so he can start building a gate for me. Another quick pit stop. Not super quick, it took 15 minutes. But long-time customer called while I was heading out. They had a gate issue. Ultimately all it needed was a adjustment on the hinge. We didn't build the fence. I threw the gates in for him because the contractor who built the fence for him initially built the gates out of drill stem pipe, and they were ridiculously heavy. So built them these lighter gates so that they're ghost operators, which they had installed, or the contractor before had installed. But we built them a lighter set of gates so that the ghost operators would run better. And ultimately with the cold, things had shifted a little and the gate was slightly out of alignment. So made a little adjustment for them, and now we are back on the road. I passed the entrance to the customer's property. It's pretty undeveloped, and yeah, I drove right past it. Anyway, the game plan for today is to go walk the job site with the customer, familiarize myself with the property lines. There's going to be some brush removal that we're going to have to do in order to facilitate the barbed wire fencing, and then I will unload the material off the trailer behind me. I'll run the trailer back slick. We won't have a whole lot of excess material on this job. Should be pretty much zero. And any little leftovers will go back on the trailer that I'm towing the excavator down with tomorrow. But I will get this material off the trailer. I'll start getting it squared up, tacked, most of the assembly done. And then tomorrow we will set our H and corner braces. We will erect the entryway and hang the gate. And then the following day we will run wire, and yeah, we'll pound T-post, run wire, and then put on the gate operator. So it'll be a couple busy days, but it'll be good. And we are looking forward to starting this project. and hopefully making the customer smile. So I'll pop the camera on after I finished walking the job site with the customer. I just finished the walkthrough with the customer. He added a couple of things. That's all right. We like more work. So what he added, which this is where the ranch entry is going. What he added was we are going to take the excavator and we're going to chip this away, cut that back so the gate opens all of the way. Initially, we were just going to do the ranch entryway, and then about 150 feet that way, we were going to start the barbed wire. But now we are going to add some wood posts through there to match these wood posts over here that the customer has installed. And then we are going to also take these wood posts after we take some excess dirt and build it up in here. We are going to take and drill and set those wood posts for the first 150 feet approximately through here, where our barbed wire fence will start. The other change, it's not so much a change as just an understanding that the customer and I came to regarding the volume of brush. Initially, we thought that 2 or 3 hours of brush removal would suffice. Looking at the project now, it's likely going to be a little more than that. So we came to an understanding that it was going to be a little more than that. If it was, he's willing to pay for it. If it's not more than that, obviously I'm not going to charge for it. So just a couple things we got out of the way before we started. And you can see one pin up there. It continues down through that forest. And then, I don't know if you can see it on this little screen, but there's a white pin in the middle there, or a piece of PVC sticking up. That is our terminal point. So we're gonna follow that through there, and there's a pin back there also on PVC, and then it comes down through here. So that is our plan of it. Well, I guess that is our path, not plan. Our plan is to get this done and do it right, but that is where we're going with the fence. So I'm gonna get the gooseneck wheeled around and get the steel slid off the deck and start getting it into position within reason. Obviously, I'm not going to hurt myself when I could just move it with the excavator tomorrow. But we're gonna do our best to slide it around and get some progress done today. Initially, I had said that I was going to unload the material and start stacking it up. Plans have changed a little. The weather has rolled in. As you can see, we got these little snowballs coming in. It's not really a big deal working in the snow, but it is. The storm is over there and it is thick. And so instead of getting hurt dealing with this heavy steel, trying to move it around when it's getting slippery, I'm going to go prepare our auger to get it on the Bobcat E40, because he added that extra work and we are going to need an auger for it. So I'm going to get that trailer ready. I probably won't be back here today. I'll be back tomorrow. Ideally, I wanted to get some more work done here today, but instead I'm going to go prep equipment so that tomorrow goes even smoother. So I'm going to unhook the trailer and I'll see you probably back at the yard. We're back at the yard getting the excavator loaded up for tomorrow morning. We got a little bit of snow here too. So I'm gonna get the excavator loaded, work through my list on additional stuff we need to bring to accommodate the change order, and we will be leaving bright and early tomorrow morning. So here's the situation. Hopefully you can hear me over the truck and the excavator. But we were working our way up that hill, lost traction right at the peak, and then started slipping backwards, and the brakes do no good when you're slipping backwards. So we ended up jackknifing the truck and trailer here. No real damage to the truck at all. We got into it with the rub rail is all. We got a tweaked jack handle, and that is it. So feel super blessed there. No damage to anything. Now we gotta try to get it out, or I gotta try to get it out. I'm up here by myself. So my plan is I can't get the excavator off with the room I have. So the plan is to use the excavator to hook up here, give us a little traction. Hopefully I can straighten the truck and trailer out. Then I can unload the excavator, and hopefully the weight reduction will allow me to shoot up the hill with the truck and trailer, and then I will track the machine up to the job site. That's the plan. We're gonna see how it goes. Here's where we're at. E40's unloaded. Tried to make another run up the hill without a trailer, and these treads just aren't cutting it. So we're trying to figure out how to get the excavator out in front of the machine, or in front of the truck, and get this truck up the hill. I mean, we're almost making it and then not. And it is a crappy feeling sliding backwards in that truck. So we'll figure it out. We got this excavator up there. I was able to get down and scar up. I didn't want to trash the road too bad, but scar up the road, get some decent material exposed, so that I can hopefully get some traction and get up this hill here. But I didn't get this spot right in front of the truck, so I'm gonna have to get through that and then hopefully hit this section. Oh yeah. We're hooked now. Thank goodness we had the excavator and not the skid steer today. Wouldn't have been able to get the skid steer off the trailer so easy. All right, well now I'm gonna track the excavator over to the job site, and then I'll follow it with the truck. So no need for you to watch me drive anymore. If I fire up the camera again before I've got everything delivered, it means I've crashed. So we made it up here. I've got my steel 500i out. Initially, the plan today was to get that 8-inch off of the trailer, lay it out, weld it, erect it, clear brush. Instead, I'm going to clear brush, probably do some dirt work that the customer requested, and prep the post pounder and hot saw for a full day tomorrow. And that's probably going to be about it. I will tell you what, it seems like when this is a little more than a dusting. Like, worst case scenario, it's maybe 1 3/4 inches of snow. But, and maybe someone can chime in who gets more snow than we do. I mean, don't get me wrong, we've had years where we've had 3 foot of snow, but it's these little snowstorms that seem to get me in the most trouble. So this is the snow. As you can see, it packs and then it turns into like this ice. And this happened last year too. I'm a repeat offender. It was a small dusting like this, same consistency on the snow, and I was gung-ho to get out and keep working, and got stuck in this much snow because it turned to ice. And so perhaps it has to be a new policy that if it's white out, I just need to stay home and do paperwork. Otherwise, I'm going to be tearing up equipment. But that's it. I'm just going to run through and sharpen. It's pretty sharp so far, or already, but I'm just going to tune up the chain on this 500i. For clearing brush, I like this little larger saw with a long bar on it. I find that I'm able to keep the work further away from my person. The 500i is a very light saw for its size, and it's good power. This scrub oak tends to try to bind and will bog down a saw, and it's pretty easy to get hurt that way. And I found that this powerful head with the longer bar, I'm able to not only reach out and keep that work further away from me, but it's got the power to kind of break through that without really pulling you into the brush. So that's why we run such a big saw for, I mean, we're obviously not a logging operation, but we use a larger saw for clearing this brush for efficiency and safety. So I'm going to finish sharpening this up, and then I'll bring you along for a little bit of brush clearance. Sorry for the poor camera angle. So it's snowing still. Gosh dang, it's slippery out here. But you can see, maybe you can see the yellow caution tape in that one. And then if I lift this high enough, we've got the corner property pin over there. What I'm doing, because this fence is going over a couple rolling hills, and it's really hard to sight them in. So I've walked back and forth a handful of times now. I've picked visual landmarks where I can tie off this yellow caution tape to give myself a clear path to trim back this brush. We charge by the hour. I don't want to be charging the customer cutting in the wrong direction. So for this brush removal, like I said, we charge by the hour, and we're gonna just keep blowing through it. But this is important. We want to make sure we're cutting in the right spot. So just thought I'd share how I do that going over these rolling hills. It takes a lot of time to walk back and forth, but it's a whole lot faster than just cutting blindly. So keep on going. We are back here for, this is the third trip over. First day we brought this trailer, got snowed out-ish. So got out and did some more prep to mobilize the next day. Second day, which was yesterday, brought this down. That's when I jackknifed. As you can see, a lot of the snow is melted off now. Ended up doing brush clearance and dug the 2 footers here, footer holes for this 8-inch entryway. So those are 48 inches deep. I've got 2 of my crew members down here with me today. I don't know if you can hear the saw buzzing in the background, but they are finishing up the last little stretch of clearing. I'm getting ready to warm up the excavator, and I'm going to pick that 8-inch off of the trailer and start fabricating that. That's the plan for today. Well, that's the plan to start the day, and we'll see how far we get. Hopefully we'll get some T-posts driven today as well. So stay tuned. It is all squared up. I'm not putting the lower tails on just yet. I'm going to weld this up, get it stabilized, get it secure. Then I will miter those little end caps and get those fit and weld the end plates on before I then lift it up and weld the back side. So it's all plumb. I ended up using just boards, and that's it, shaving some ground to just get it fit right. It's so heavy I didn't want to put it up in the air on stands or anything. So it's flat, it's square, looking forward to welding it. It's looking pretty darn cool. I have the steel, I think that's a TS420 maybe. I don't know, hold on. I don't want to misspeak here. Yeah, it's TS420. I should know, I've had it for a couple years now, but it's warming up. I'm getting ready to miter those ends, both the ones that are not welded on and then the main upper beam. I'm gonna miter those, and then I'm gonna cut the caps to weld onto those. So it went together really nicely. I have this side welded up, and then, well, all the face welds, I should say. I've got to run vertical on all the seams and then obviously do the mitered caps. But I'll tell you what, this is the first one of these I've done with this excavator. It didn't get light at all in the track when I was picking this up. This is 8-inch 250 wall. The longest piece is 21 foot, but it didn't get light at all. really confident machine, and it sure made it easy to set all these pieces down, especially when I'm able to let the guys go clear brush and start pounding T-posts while I'm doing this. It's not tying up a bunch of manpower. So that was great. We're making great progress today. I'm gonna mount this to the truck, miter these ends, and keep on rolling. So we've got some more welding underway. We're running the vertical welds, I should say, with 6011, and everything up top and flat I'm running 7018. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more vertical welds to make on the interior here, and then I'm gonna put those 2 little caps on. I welded those with 6011 as well. I'm gonna fasten those and then we'll be ready to stand it up. So probably in about another hour we'll be grabbing a hold of this thing and getting it into position. I just want to make sure he's safe. There it is. We got it up. It's never not nerve-wracking putting something of this magnitude up with, I mean, honestly, just small equipment. We don't have cranes. We don't have telehandlers. We don't have that. Even if we rented a telehandler, getting it out there, out to this location would be tough. Especially in light of what happened yesterday. But I think it went really well. Always things that you learn from putting one of these up. But the excavator's anchoring it on one side, the tree is anchoring it on the other. I'd rather not be leaving my excavator chained up to that thing all night, but that is the safest way for everybody on site with the equipment we have. So pretty excited. We got, or the guys got, a majority of the T-posts installed today. They didn't run into nearly as much rock as I thought we might, so that was great. They finished up the brush clearing really quick. They did a phenomenal job. Tomorrow we'll be setting our corner braces and H braces, and I will be finishing up the welding on the other side of the entryway from up in the air. It's safer than trying to support something with that kind of weight and welding underneath it. I'd rather weld off a ladder. So finish that up tomorrow, hang the gate, and then Monday we'll be running wire and probably installing the gate operator. So I'm gonna head home. I'm a little on the late side, and I will see you guys in the morning.